coming at you with my part 1 of the Steelers franchise, my offline franchise. This will be your first sample of my gameplay. I'll be giving you some tips, and you can just follow along here with, we're going to pick up where I already was in my Steelers franchise. Coming into this, I'm not going to start it over. I think I'm only in week 2 or week 3. So we're just going to pick up where I left off. We're gonna have some fun here. I'll show you my team, tell you, what I've done here, and, what I'm up to. I was mistaken there. Looks like we're in week 5. We're 3-1 coming in here. We're on all Madden. Let's go to my schedule. I'll show you guys what happened so far. Real weird schedule here. I lost game 1, I know that much. I lost it to the Browns. And the Browns this year in Madden are, they're a bit of a surprise. I think in Madden they're a little bit more powerful than I thought that they would be. Personally, being a Steelers fan, I know a lot about the Browns, and I follow them very closely. I know a lot of people this year aren't projecting the Browns to be very good. I know a lot of my friends aren't giving them more than 5 wins this season. To be honest with you, I couldn't disagree more. Not to be funny or anything, but I think that they're, on the low end, they're winning 6 games, and on the high end, they could win 9 to 10 games just because of the, their schedule and the talent that they brought in. I mean, that team is strong. If you think about it, Jarvis Landry, I know a lot of people don't like to give him credit, but Jarvis Landry is a top 5 receiver in this league, at worst top 10. And that's something that the Browns haven't had for a while. The Browns were winning games back when Josh Gordon was lighting it up. And let me tell you, having Jarvis Landry in there and now getting Josh Gordon back from his suspension, he looks to be healthy. That offense projects to be pretty good. I'm a Tyrod Taylor fan. I thought he was a good quarterback when he was over in Buffalo. I think that he's a pretty good quarterback. And at the very least, he's going to throw a couple touchdowns. He's not going to throw a lot of picks, and he's going to hold on to the ball. He's going to get your team some wins just because he's not going to turn the ball over a lot. The running back, depth chart, not great, but, it's deep. Carlos Hyde, they brought in Chubb. They got Duke Johnson still, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know Crowell left in free agency, so I think Duke Johnson's still there. As we all know, David Njoku didn't have the biggest year, but he projects to be pretty good. Their O-line's solid. Nothing great about it. Since Joe Thomas left, that's a big hit, but overall, the offensive line is still pretty good. I think a lot of the rest of that O-line got overshadowed because Joe Thomas was so great. But the rest of that offensive line has been solid for quite some time. So that O-line is solid. And their defense was, top notch. The problem with that team was that their offense couldn't keep their defense off of the field enough. And so, personally, I believe that defense is at least top half of the league, if not top 10. With some of the players that they have, like Myles Garrett, who's a game changer. Schobert, I know at middle linebacker, he was a Pro Bowler. They got, just a bunch of good, talented, athletic players on that defense. And that team projects to be pretty good. And I know the Steelers always come in, they lose to opponents that they shouldn't to, and I feel like the Browns are going to take a game from them this year, just like they did to me in week 1. Going through their schedule, it really doesn't seem that tough. I mean, you think, Saints, tough game, Jets, Raiders, not tough, Baltimore, not really that tough. I mean, they got a good defense, but Baltimore's offense is garbage. Buccaneers, not a tough game. Chiefs won't be a tough game, unless Mahomes surprises. Falcons could be easy if the Falcons don't bounce back. There's the possibility that happens. Bengals twice. The Bengals are, they're the Bengals. The Browns are gonna win one of those games. Panthers haven't been very good. Broncos might be good, but they don't look very good in preseason. So, Who knows? Like I said, Browns could, end up 9-10 wins this season. At best, at worst, they're not winning any less than 6 games. But back to my schedule, like I said, this is where we're at. We lost the first game, but then we came back. Got a good late win there. As you can see the number of times played there. We're trying to cut that down. The problem is we were trying to test out sliders there for a while. And as you can see, we got, we kind of over-adjusted the sliders in week 4. We ended up with a blowout against the Ravens. That shouldn't happen. So we're going to try and fix that moving forward. But these 2 games ended up being good games once I found, a slider spot that I thought was all right. But this year's Madden, as everybody has been saying, complaining, you look on Twitter, you look on YouTube, everybody's complaining about this game. The running's impossible, the passing is nearly impossible. They said that they fixed so many issues and they didn't fix them. Linebackers are making ridiculous, interceptions here, there, left, right. They're jumping every single route. Corners are making ridiculous 360 one-handed interceptions, and this is on simulation. This stuff shouldn't be happening. If we were playing on arcade mode, okay, maybe, but this is on simulation mode. They haven't fixed it the way they said they did. They did make a whole bunch of improvements to the game this year. We got the custom draft classes in. Franchise got a whole overhaul, and it looks a lot nicer. So I can't complain too much about that. But that's actually something I'm gonna do in this video. We're probably gonna go into the sliders and work through the sliders and see what we can do. I might even set them back to base because I found a playbook that I like. The Steelers playbook, passing plays, alright. Running plays, non-existent. Do not run the Steelers playbook if you're trying to be competitive or if you're trying to run on online. It's never going to happen. Unless you guys know something I don't, let me know down in the comments section. Tell me, help me out. But the Steelers playbook, I cannot run this year. Last year, I had to switch away from it for similar reasons because at the beginning of Madden, the running plays weren't working for me. Running was tough, so I had to switch to Denver's playbook, which has good run and pass plays. It's weird, but their playbook just works for me. They got strong run, strong pass plays. So that's what I'm going to run again this year because the playbooks they're like about 95% the same as they were last year. So, just bear with me there. We're going to go ahead. We're going to run that playbook for a little while. If you guys know something I don't, like I said, just let me know down in the comments and maybe I'll give the Steelers playbook a try again. But, from a lot of stuff I've seen, YouTube videos, people, telling you what playbooks to use. Nobody's ever telling you to use the Steelers playbook. That's very evident to me from the beginning. But here's what the team is. I'll give you a broad overview here on this screen. Here's the offense. Here's your defense. We're going to special teams. We still got Boswell and Berry, but I'm going to go position by position, let you guys know what we got. If you spot something you think I'm doing wrong, like I said, let me know down in the comments section. I'll respond to you. I'll be happy to take tips and suggestions. We started this with the base roster for Madden, and what I did was I edited players to be a little bit more realistic. I took Pro Football Focus, which I have, and then I took a couple different YouTube videos talking about overrated and underrated players, and I adjusted ratings accordingly. A lot of people believe that Ben Roethlisberger's rating was way too low. I think they gave him like an 87 or an 88 this year. I think somewhere in this range, like low 90s, is probably accurate. Last year he didn't have too great of a year. Apparently this year his arm's back. He says that it's stronger than ever and he's going to have a great year. I don't know. We'll see. But he definitely did take a step back last year, so I can't argue with like a 90, 91. An 88's a bit far of a step back for me. Going from, high 90s to a 88, that's a huge jump backwards. That's a bit of a stretch for me. So we put him at about a 91. That's what we got. We got Roethlisberger. The base game had Mason Rudolph at a low 70 here. I think he might have had a little bit of XP because I tried to progress him in preseason. So he's at a 72. I traded away Landry Jones for a 7th round pick. I didn't want to do anything crazy. I'm trying to do it as realistic as possible. I don't know what anybody would give them for Landry Jones in real life, if they would. I figure a 7th round pick is basically the least you can get for a player. So I traded him away to a team that needed him. I think it was the Rams, maybe. Yeah, I traded him to the Rams for a 7th round pick. Their backup quarterback situation's terrible. If Jared Goff goes down, do you really want Sean Mannion backing up your quarterback? No, there's no way. Andrew Jones serves as a pretty good backup there. You know, a second option in case Jared Goff goes down. So we got rid of him, and we kept Josh Dobbs. I like Josh Dobbs because that throw power, this is what I look for in quarterbacks. He's got above 90 throw power, which is super important for quarterbacks. If you don't have above 90 throw power, get off my team. You're terrible. 90 throw power is the minimum what you need to be playing on all Madden. If you don't have above 90 throw power, you're going to be lobbing passes, getting picked off constantly when you shouldn't be. So the fact that he has 91 throw power, boom. You know, you're 23 years old, you're on my roster with 91 throw power. You know, he'll be hanging around for a while. And then 84 speed. You know, when Ben Roethlisberger, you know, leaves in retirement or we decide to not bring him back, you know, you guys can help me out down in the comment section. Let me know what we should do with Ben Roethlisberger. He's 36. I believe he's got 2 years on his contract. You know, at some point, he's going to potentially retire, and then we'll have a good quarterback battle here. Speedster at quarterback or, you know, pocket passer. We'll see. Le'Veon Bell, I'm up in the air about him. You know, I left his rating where he's at. Madden has him as the best running back at a 96. I find it kind of weird that it's the only position that the best player isn't a 99, or I guess it's maybe not the only position. I think safeties they had lower this year too, and a couple other positions, but, you know, whatever. He's the best running back. I might disagree as a Steelers fan. I think the offensive line and Ben and Brown do a whole lot of the work that takes a lot of pressure off of him. Don't get me wrong, he's great. He's great. Don't get me wrong on that one, but, you know, I think he might be a little bit overrated. Nonetheless, we are trying to re-sign him, but we're trying to do it realistically. So it seems like the main issue in real life with him is that, you know, he's not getting enough guaranteed money. The Madden contract, you know, re-signing system isn't that great, so if you try and give a player a ton of guaranteed money, they're not necessarily going to take it unless the salary is also huge. So we're going to have to, if we want to sign him, we're going to have to bring him back at a lot higher of a rating than, you know, what his salary will probably end up being in real life. But that's okay. If we get him, we get him. If we don't, we have James Conner. I like James Conner. He's been running pretty well for me. And then Jalen Samuels. Jalen Samuels is a surprise here. I know in preseason he hasn't looked very good, but, you know, on the game he's pretty awesome. He's got some good skill moves. He can spin, he can juke, he can do everything you want a running back to do. And his production is pretty good. So honestly, if we lost Bell, I would be happy running with James Conner and Jalen Samuels. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Roosevelt Nix. Ultimate disrespect by Madden this year. It's nuts. I don't understand the level of disrespect that Madden shows towards fullbacks. They have no appreciation for the fullback position whatsoever. Roosevelt Nix, I think, was like a 74. Pro Football Focus has him ranked as like the number 2 fullback in the entire league. You're going to have the number 2 fullback ranked as like a mid-70s player? Come on, get out of here. Madden is, the developers over there at EA have no clue what they're doing when it comes to overalls. So we took him up to about an 88, which I think is low for him, but I wanted to be fair. You know, they think he's a 74. That's a bit ridiculous. Mid-80s, high 80s is probably right about where he's going to be. I didn't make any of his stats ridiculous. You know, they're all going to be mid to high 80s, you know, some in the 70s. As you see here, there's not in the 90s here. You know, toughness, injury, those don't really count. Personality, apparently he's got 127 personality. That's, you know, I'm not an owner, so it really doesn't matter, but apparently he's got ridiculous personality. Wide receivers, exactly what you'd expect. Antonio Brown, he's in it for the long haul. Juju, he's in it for the long haul. He's 21. I ain't letting go of him. James Washington, he's pretty good. I think he leads my team in receiving if AB doesn't. As a slot receiver and in real life in preseason, he's looking real strong. So I'm playing him at the 3 currently. Eli Rogers, I'm not a fan of. I kept him on the team as depth. I think I have him playing behind Justin Hunter, who is also not very good. Quandre Henderson's another one, just like Jalen Samuels, that, not very good. He might not even make the roster in real life, but I kept him. I'm a Pitt guy. I like Pitt. I like Penn State too. I'm mainly an LSU fan. It's weird, I know, but I'm a Pitt guy too. So I hung on to him, and he's a good kick return, punt returner. I know my one buddy Tyler, I think he had a kick return with him already, so that's where we're at with that. Tight end wise, same tight end situation as what it used to be. I would have got rid of this Jake McGee guy if I could have, but apparently he was on injured reserve to start the season, so it is what it is. Tight end situation, Vance McDonald, Jesse James, Xavier Grimble. I didn't touch these ratings. I think that they're probably accurate to about where they are. Vance McDonald, when he plays, is pretty good. But, his injuries, he's always injured. Jesse James isn't anything special. In terms of O-line's exactly what you'd think. Villanueva's out here holding it down, but he got injured last game, so we got Okorafor, the rookie, in starting at left tackle. I like him. He's pretty good. We signed a couple of backups because Gerald Hawkins also started the year on injured reserve. So being that Villanueva went down, we needed someone to back up Okorafor. We brought in Zach Banner. I think he signed with the team in real life. It might have been the Steelers, but I'm not certain. I remember seeing his name and getting excited about it, but I don't know where he went. Ramon Foster, he's here. We needed a backup for him, so we brought in Rod Johnson. As you'll see, my thing is young. Youth is ever important in Madden, in franchise. If you're not getting young backups to replace your players when they leave, like Ramon Foster, we might not be bringing him back because he wants a whole lot of money. He's 32 years old, and he's just going to start declining. Once players hit 30, they start to decline. So Rod Johnson might take his place next season if he progresses. Pouncey, they always disrespect Pouncey, so we had to boost his rating. Everybody in the NFL, every person you talk to agrees. When Pouncey plays, when Pouncey's healthy, he's a top 5 center. So we bumped him up a little bit. Matt Filer we didn't touch. BJ Finney's already on the team, so these guys are already here. We didn't touch these two, and Pouncey's at center. Right guard DeCastro. Pro Football Focus came out with something recently ranking DeCastro as the best guard in the league. So we bumped him up a little bit before we started. 97, I think it's a pretty fair rating for a guy that's been one of the best, run blockers, pass blockers in the league. He didn't allow a sack last year. Really good player. Then we got, Evan Brown, nothing special, backup. Marcus Gilbert, we signed Vidal Alexander. Like I said, you'll see here, I got Vidal Alexander. He's from LSU. I got LSU guys everywhere. And eventually I'll end up with LSU guys at every position. But that's what it is. Cameron Hayward, this game, like I said, these guys, unless they know something that I don't, I think that they're a little bit crazy, because this year they had Cam Hayward magically playing right end and Stephon Tuitt playing left end, which isn't the case. Cameron Hayward has always played at the left end position. He's always locked down against the right tackle. And then Stephon Tuitt has always played against the left tackle. That hasn't changed any year I've watched the Steelers. I'm not sure what they got going on over there at Madden, but like I said, they are clueless. Backups, not bad. LT Wong, Tyson Alualu. Nothing to get happy about. D tackle, Hargrave, he's going to be here for a while. He's pretty good. He's, Steelers scheme, the D tackle isn't important. He can pass rush a little bit, that's about all you need. That is what it is. Then we got Daniel McCullers, good backup lineman, can play any position. And then we signed off Eddie Vanderdoes. For some reason, he's always available in free agency. I don't know if he got cut from the Raiders in real life, but he's a pretty good player, in my opinion. And that's a good guy to have as a backup. 23 years old, could turn out to be something good. Outside linebackers are exactly what you would see on the team. Nothing, we didn't do anything special here. It's TJ Watt backed up by Anthony Chickillo. Right outside linebackers, Bud Dupree backed up by Keon Adams. We're sticking with Bud Dupree. I'm a huge Bud Dupree fan. I think he's going to have a massive season this year if he stays healthy. A lot of people like to hate on him, but I think he's a pretty good player. Middle linebacker here, Shazier's on injured reserve. He's an interesting case. They only have him out for like one season. I don't know what to do with him. If you guys want, let me know down in the comment section what you think we should do with him. I offered him a contract and re-signed him because I obviously wouldn't want him playing for another team because that would never happen. If he did ever come back and play, he would be on this team. But we just got to figure out what we want to do with him. I don't think he's going to play for quite a while with the fact that he's still walking with a cane and everything. A big question mark there. And then after that we got Vince Williams starting. He's a decent starter. And then I played out preseason a little bit, and Tyler Matakevich won the battle against Boston. I wanted Boston to start, but, those couple years age difference, being the same rating, Matakevich he played better. He had a couple interceptions, so he won that starting job next to Vince Williams for me. Cornerback, exactly what you see in real life. I think the secondary is going to be much improved this year. A lot of people are talking about, that tough loss to the Packers in preseason, getting blown out. But that, that was a lot of the depth players. And I think that the starting core with Joe Hayden, he's nothing special anymore, but he's going to make a couple plays here and there that are going to make you think, okay, he's still got it. He's pretty good. Mike Hilton's a real good slot corner, and that's where I'm leaving him. And Artie Burns is a really underrated player. Artie Burns is, he had the best rookie season out of that class a couple years ago, and last year was a good learning experience for him. He had a lot of penalties called on him, but he didn't do a whole lot to hurt the team. So he kind of took a step forward in the fact that he learned from his experiences, and hopefully we're going to see an increase in production out of him this season. Talk of the town is Brian Allen and Cameron Sutton. They're supposed to show up big and make a difference. I don't know if they will. They haven't yet for me in this franchise, but we'll see moving forward if anyone can get a couple picks or something late into a game, be a game changer, might earn themselves a promotion or something. Free safety, we're starting Sean Davis. A lot of people in Pittsburgh don't like Sean Davis. I'm a huge Sean Davis fan. Pro Football Focus. I'm all about Pro Football Focus. Like I said, Sean Davis was a pretty decent safety, coming off of a strong season where he was playing in the wrong position. They had him playing at strong safety alongside Mike Mitchell, and let me tell you, I am not a fan of Mike Mitchell. Mike Mitchell is trash. Mike Mitchell is one of the worst safeties we've ever had in Pittsburgh. And personally, I think he's the reason that people think Sean Davis looked bad last year. Because the defense leaned on Sean Davis because Mike Mitchell was always out of position. He was always too slow. So that's, I think that he's going to have a good year, and he's having a good year for me so far in this franchise. So that's where we're at. Marcus Allen actually has been playing really well for me. So I think he's actually gotten a couple upgrades, and that's why he's up to a 70 already. Morgan Burnett, I'm not starting. I'm starting the rookie. Like I said, age is important to me. Age is more important than overall. That 7 overall difference there is incredibly less important than the 8-year age difference. The fact that Terrell Edmunds is 21 years old, you can't beat that. If you can start anybody that's above a 70 that's 21 years old, do it. The fact that he's got 91 speed, 96 acceleration, good strength, good awareness for a rookie, this guy's going to be a stud. In real life, he's going to be a stud. He already looks like it. This guy needs to start. If you're playing the Steelers franchise, start Terrell Edmunds. And then we got nothing special at kicker or punter. Boswell's strong, good kicker, good accuracy, consistent. Jordan Berry's alright. I don't find myself in a whole lot of positions where, I need a big punt or anything, so I'm not going to make any big deals about my punter. Alright, so just give me 1 second here. Let me check my time. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to go in and do a couple of these tasks real quick. We're going to look at the contracts, see what we can do, see who's available to re-sign. Like I said, Le'Veon Bell and Ramon Foster are question marks. As far as Mike Hilton's concerned, we're going to sign him to a contract. But we want him here long term. He's only 24 years old. Like I said, take tips here. 24 years old players start to regress around the age of 30. So you want to sign them through the age of 30 and then decide what you want to do with them after that. So I'm going to sign him for 6 years. It says a fair offer is $26 million. By increasing that from 4 years to 6 years, you're increasing it to $40 million. So you can get a discount on his per year salary. You can take it down. I'm not going to take it down that far. We're going to probably put her... I hate this. It auto adjusts. If you hold the button for too long, it takes it way down. We're going to try and sign it for $2.7 million. We'll give him 2.5 bonus. That's $30 million. It's a little bit higher than what he wants, but we're going to give him a couple extra years. We're going to sign him through the age of 30 because we know we want him. See, he wants to take a better salary, so all we'll do, we came in at the 2.7 mark. I think he was up around 4. We'll increase it a little bit and meet him in the middle. That's no problem. We got a lot of time to negotiate. Ramon Foster's tough. Like I said, he wants a lot of money. This is what I offered him the first time. I know it's a low ball offer, but I don't really want to sign him to a 2-year contract because if you think about it, he's an 86 overall. These are where his ratings are at now. You imagine 2 years from now when I'm going to owe him, this is $19 million offer. I'm going to owe him $10 million. I'm going to be paying $10 million for probably an 80 overall, maybe. A guy that has 85 strength at that point, probably less than 80 run block, maybe less than 80 pass block. It's not something that you want to do. This is probably a guy that's worth getting rid of. If you could sign him to a 1-year contract, do it. I'll increase his salary. That takes me to 28.7 million. He's probably not going to take this, but I'll offer him a 1-year big money contract. Yeah, see, he doesn't like anything about it. We'll save him until the end of the season and see if maybe the franchise tag will save me a little bit of money or not. Like I said with Le'Veon Bell here, we tried to offer him one where it was mainly guaranteed money. And he told us he wanted more salary. So if we're really going to sign him back, we're going to have to overpay for him. I'm not sure if I'm okay doing it. I really like Bell in the game anyway, but I don't know if it's worth, paying, most of what my salary cap is left, to sign him. Am I going to have to pay $16 million to bring him back for 4 years? It seems a bit much. $63 million bucks. What does he want? He wants a 6-year deal, which would put him at 32. I'll offer him. I'll offer him through the age of 32, $15.5 million. We'll see what he takes. See if he takes it. Yeah, see, he's the same thing. He wants a better salary. They still haven't fixed that about Madden. Players are never trying to take guaranteed money. They always want to take the salary per year. And it's good for players. If you're in a competitive league, that's what you want to do. You want to sign players to lower signing bonus, which is technically the guaranteed money in this game, which the system is a complete mess because that's not how it works in real life. But you want to sign them to lower bonus and a higher salary. Because when you cut them, if they regress and you want to cut them, it's going to cost you less money to do so. Vince Williams, you're 28 years old, you want a 4-year deal as a 78 overall. Sorry, that just ain't happening. You're not worth that to me. He's got quick development, so he might be able to progress a little bit, but we'll offer you 2 years. We'll increase your salary a little bit just to kind of get a baseline here and see what you will or won't take. Yeah, he doesn't like anything about that offer. It's no surprise to me. It's not real urgent for me to sign him because we're gonna, somebody down the pipe is gonna come along and take that spot. I'm not real interested in Vince Williams long term. If you guys disagree with any of those arguments, let me know down in the comment section. I'm happy to take suggestions. Let me know what you want to see. Let's see. So then what we'll do here, we'll make sure we scout middle linebackers. I'm not sure why this is here this year. You can click on them and then scout them from this screen, or you can just press, square for quick scout. I prefer it this way. I mean, I like having the extra screen that you can go in and get extra information off of. But does it really help anybody that much? I mean, it tells you the same information that you can see out here. 6 foot, 240 pounds, B+, B-, C+, first rounder. If I go in there, what else do I see here? It's not telling me anything. It'll give you the combine report, but that's about it. So then, another thing, if you're playing franchises and you're wondering how everybody's teams are getting better than yours, my friends complain about it all the time. Whenever I'm in franchise mode, Jake, how are you getting 99 overall players? How are you getting your 70 overall rookies up to 85s in the second year? It's because of training. A lot of people don't understand this. There's all these drills in here, okay? And people look at this and they're like, oh, dang, that's intimidating. I don't want to do any of that. Just find one that works for you and do that one. And then that gold medal saves for the entire season, and you just pick that same training over and over and over again and simulate it. So I got the gold on the curl flats, so it's going to give me plus 300 XP to all of my wide receivers. Yes, all of them. Every single one of them is going to get that bonus, and all of my tight ends are going to get that bonus. If you compare that to the silver, you're getting 200 or 100. If you don't do it at all, you're not getting any of that XP. You're not getting any of the bonus. So you get that gold. The easiest one for me is curl flats. It's a super easy one. On defense, play the pump block. The pump block is so easy. And then you get, plus 300 to your most vital positions. Every defensive back is getting plus 300 points. That's your corners, your safeties. That's everybody on the back end, and that's the majority of your defense if you think about it. You're running 5 or 6 corners, you're running 4 or 5, maybe even 6 safeties. That's half of your defense back there, and they're all getting plus 300. And then you talk about your defensive line. The only thing that's left out there on defense is your linebackers. So everybody on your defense essentially is getting plus 300 XP, and my friends refuse to do this. All you gotta do this drill one time. Go in preseason week 1 before you do anything. Get a gold on one of each of these. You can restart them while you're in the drill, whatever. Just do it till you get a gold, and then pick 3 players over here to get the focus. They get an additional XP bonus, so you pick your players with good development. Terrell Edmonds, James Washington, Artie Burns, and then watch this. Watch how much XP these guys get. Sim, this is all you have to do. If you're doing this in real time, this takes 2 minutes at most. Start training. Simulating training. Watch this. Juju Smith-Schuster gets 1,500 XP from that drill because I think he has star or superstar potential. Eli Rogers, 251. James Washington, 830. You look on defense, Cam Hayward got 554 plus 630. You get an XP bonus for being in the scheme. Look at that. That's new this year. Look at all of that XP, and that's just 1 week's worth of training. That's not even the game. Everybody wonders, how do you get your players up rated so high? Easy. Train them. Spend the 10-15 minutes it takes week 1, do your training, and then after that you're good to go. Take the 2 minutes each week before you play your game. Quick train, scout, play your game, you're good to go. Alright? So that's the intro to this franchise. That's where we stand as a team. In terms of the AFC North, apparently we're tied with the Bengals. Bengals having a good season. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. I'm kind of excited to have a battle with the Bengals for once. Hopefully that's not how it plays out in real life. I don't like meeting them in the playoffs because they're a bunch of thugs, but, hey, whatever. That's the way that team plays. That's how that coach coaches. I can't complain. We got Super Bowls and they don't. We got playoff wins and they don't. So, that's where we're at, I'm not sure how long this video ran, probably about 30 minutes. That's the intro. Next thing I'll upload a gameplay. Like I said, I don't have any recording hardware, software, editing, so everything is live here. No cuts, no edits. If you want to see the gameplay, check it out. If you like me, if you like my channel, hit like, hit subscribe.